Is she in the right position?
Let's see.
Get your ears on, which is
I'm
fine.
gonna say yes.
No, it can occur in.
I'm gonna say yes. That angle then is shifted just a little bit.
That is, okay. The feet are normally, when I say in the right position, you're good at getting your feet back. It's more the upper part of the body, which is fine. And look, it might be that people have it in different positions than the other, everybody else. Yeah.
Let's say yes.
It is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let us check this. All right. So this is a case where I don't mind that you shadowed because it seems like it's strategic. Like you heard me. Did you start shading? You did. When I said, I don't mind if you do it strategically, you started doing it. Is that when you did it? You said, oh, there's my opening. Is that what you did?
I was looking at that right there. I know you wanted that highlighted and that in shadow.
Wait. This is what set you off.
Yeah.
This piece right here.
That right there.
How?
How? Because
Of all the, not this, not that, this little thing right here.
That little thing. That's where I started. Yeah. It was right there.
Why? What did I ever say that piece right there is what I care about? I do care about all pieces equally, by the way. But why was it that piece? I want to hear this.
You want to hear what I have to say about it? I have to say that
Go on.
that was probably the biggest part of making it look three-dimensional. That what is it? Pelvis box.
So the last pose we had, it was because it was sticking out, right? That.
Okay, I can't remember that.
See, I have
know
a
it's
photographic memory.
Oh well, hey, of course.
I think. Actually, I don't know because I did editing, so I don't even know what drawing we're talking about. Was it last week's?
Yes, it was a front-facing pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a front-facing pose? Okay. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Look. Okay. All right. I'll show you how I would do this. Okay.
Right.
Because
So you're going to show us how you would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shading in the interest of getting the proportions when you can't see them once you've worked it. So I want you to work it up, exercise your mind, seeing the basics.
Mm-hmm.
This is better to see the proportions before you start putting the shadows in. It gives you more practice. After a while, you'll start kind of doing them in tandem, right? Both at the same time. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying for the beginner start, it's good practice. All right. You're at that point. Or you should be at that point where you should be doing both. Okay. All right.
Slow learner.
So the proportions are looking pretty good right here. The legs are not her legs. This is too thin in here. Okay. So essentially what I see, this might be a little bit too wide. So the buttocks, like this actually comes over some. We're just going to widen this up. This piece coming up to here, this is going to thicken out just a little bit coming up in here. It's subtle things. Do you want me to show you how subtle it is? Do you want me to draw it in? Or do you want it? Okay. Yeah. Okay, bro. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so you got this piece that's kind of coming out like that, just a little bit. It's coming out. And then this piece, let's see from here. It kind of comes out here just a little bit here. 1, 2. And then it cuts in. That's what it does, something like that. And so we have this. It fills out just a little bit there. It's very subtle things. And then when I'm not going to do this, I want you to do that, but you're going to bring the butt crack over that way just a little bit. All right. How I would do, okay. And then from here, this, okay. From here, you have this piece right here, and then you're going to have it cutting down. It's going to be kind of swooping down a little bit more. So that's going to be the hamstring, the side of the leg right there. This piece is this coming up into it right here like that. And then we're going to have this kind of cut like that. You see, that's how you're going to do that. Because it's too broken up in here, this is too broken up. You need to have it sweeping. This part right here is soft, so it's kind of coming in, and then you have the hip about right here, and then it comes up like this. Like that. But it's going to be soft coming inside, right? And then you have the butt kind of coming down like that. This piece, see, the butt. You know, and then here's, if we squint down, you know, kind of the underside, something like that. But what you could do with this, son of a bitch, 1 second, let me reset this back up. I should just leave it there. All right, that's fine, that's fine. I'm not gonna refocus, I think it's okay. Like, you need to work on getting the actual body type of what she is up there, right? And so, like her legs are a little bit too straight up and down. Like this piece isn't quite coming out as much as it should. Like you need to go and just work in getting the subtle anatomy. That doesn't mean going through and like detailing. It just means you need to be more observant with where you're putting things down because it's a little bit too linear and stiff right now. So this, yeah. So this seems a little bit too long. Like the legs to me seem too long. That's what it seemed compared to, you know, like this might come up just a little bit, this might come up, and it definitely thickens out some. This piece right here, like this is way too long. You're making these, normally what you do, you make the calves too short and the thighs too long. So like, for example, if this was her legs, like this point would be like up here. You see? So that goes up some.
Right, now I tried using the edge of the page
right.
and finding where that was and following over. Now sometimes I guess I'll go down, sometimes I never go up.
Do that, but you also need to be using comparative measurement at the same time, and you also need to be practicing what you just said. A lot of that's just training your body to stay in the same position and double, triple checking, and then coming back to it also later on. Because you don't want, like, you want to be using sight size because that's a good tool, but you don't always want to be using sight size only. You need to be using comparative measurements and your common sense. Because this is something I just looking at it, you can tell that's too long. It is. And best thing to do after a break, after you take a break, you have a fresh eye, come back and look, sweep the whole thing for big shapes. Don't just go through and just pick up where you left off before and start drawing. That'll help. All right, so this is how I would draw like this area right here. So like starting on this side. So this is probably not gonna be that proportionate because I'm gonna try to go faster with this, but if this is the butt crack right there, going across to that point here, it's coming up. And then there's that piece right here. And then the leg. All right, so that's the leg coming down. Okay, so this is something like that, and the butt crack comes up, and then I said kind of put this. I've been telling people to put this piece on right here, and something like that, right? Mm-hmm. That shadow. I don't mind if you do that. Now, to get this part right here, we squint down, and just lightly, like I'm squinting, I'm just ballparking where the shadow is going to be. It's going to be coming up like this. I'm just fuzzing it on, but I'm also thinking about the form and what we're looking at. So right here, there's this piece that's kind of coming down like this, right here, and then it obviously branches out a little bit. And yeah, you have that little light shape right here, but I'm not so concerned about that right now. Like you have this shape that kind of comes under here, the buttocks area right here. And then it does kind of fade down just a little bit, and then you have this piece right here. This actually needs to fill out some, right? But you have this shape there. And so like on a scale like this, I don't mind if you can do a couple things. You can either shadow in like that, which you can do that, or you can shadow like this part, you can kind of shadow in going across like that and just lightly put it in. You see it coming across, and then bringing this across too. You can do that. You can do both and just squint down, get the basic shapes like that, and then you fade this down, right? So like you can kind of do both. You can either come across like that, or you can bring it down like that, and then you can start cutting it through. But what you need to do is make a little bit more, I would say, like solid marks on it. Just solid marks to give it a little bit more shadow edge, so that you can actually see where you're going with this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you see just doing that gives it a little bit more form. And you can soften these if you want. But I like what you're thinking about. This is good. This part's not really connecting with the outside line, which I actually drew, so I'm not going to hold that against you. That piece right there, and then this piece pops out, and then we come in and we can kind of like come and clean this area up some. Just a little bit. But I mean, look, this drawing is much better than you've done before. It's just proportions and stuff. That's something. The head is actually, maybe it's, the neck is too long. This is too long. Yeah, so like this piece needs to come down some. That needs to come down. This piece right here is actually down. One thing that's going to help, if you think of a line going across through here, how high is that? And that just needs to drop just a little bit, right? So that comes down, in which case this might come down just a little bit, because it seems like it might. You know what? The size is better than it normally is. Normally you have like a really big upper body, but you did a pretty good job. Like up here looks pretty good, except this distance. Yeah, you kind of did the same thing. If this is here, this is actually going to drop just a little. It's going to be something like this. It's going to be coming down just a little bit. This one comes down less, actually. That one's very close. If it comes down, it's like a hair width, but it's something like that. And then that's going to drop a little bit, so that comes down some, right? For the width. Right, for the width of what you have. So this is actually pretty good. And this might, the thing is, she's been moving some. This might like widen up just a little bit there, just a little. It's small things, but the thing is, I might be wrong in some of the things I'm saying. It really, this is a tricky pose, because it's like she has this subtle turn tonight, and there's a lot of beautiful poses and gestures within it. Do you have any questions? Seeing you with a serious face with those elf ears is hilarious. I wish I had like Google glasses or something. Anyway, what were you saying?
All right. So I seem to have a problem with making the knee part.
You do, yeah.
Too low.
Yes.
Even though sometimes I will sight size that, just bring it over. But again, I think sometimes I go down.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Use both. You're going to have to practice sight size.
Yeah, when I look at that, yeah.
But you need to be also try to do sight size with. I swear you do the laziest lines I've ever seen in my life.
What?
You're just like, wrong angles. That's the angle you want to go with. That upper part of the calf. I don't know, bro.
Glasses on.
Well, then why are you drawing? Why don't you put them on? Because you don't go with the elf ears. They don't fit over them, bro.
Well, there they go.
Got it?
Of course, I have to look at the model too. What am I still? Oh.
It doesn't matter. This video, it doesn't matter. Just leave that sideways. All right. I did such a horrible job. Look, feet. Talk to me about the feet here. And stand over here so you're not. Talk to me about the feet.
About the feet?
Yeah.
I like feet.
Stand right here. Right there.
Yeah.
Over just a little bit.
Which way?
Right, this way? Wait, over just right.
This way?
Forward some.
That way?
Now over.
Now over?
Okay, you got it.
All right. Okay.
All right.
This spot. All right.
I got it under control here. Don't worry. You got it.
All right. Angle of the feet. Well, like I said, I think
Thinking about the feet. You need help with the feet, right? Your feet are looking better.
Yeah, not like those big thingies.
Flippers.
Whatever those that start.
Oh, I was too lazy to look up the names. It was the Battle of Hoth, Planet of Hoth.
Yeah, those big, yeah.
Okay, let me show you. I'm going to draw the feet. Okay. And first off, tell me how much time we have left.
11 seconds.
Okay, I can do this. Memorizing feet. Okay. You can get down. I got it. This one right here, this angle is this. That's the angle you have right there. This is going to thicken up just a little bit here. that comes out. This piece was here like that, and this comes like that, there, and then you have this here, and then this. So essentially what you're doing, and then this piece was going to fill out just a little bit, and then it cuts in some like that. So that's the foot right there. That's what you have. That's how it was up there, okay? And from here, you just like make small adjustments. You might shift a line left, shift them right. But what will help you, see, you normally make this, like you're thinking, I'll get the top part of the foot and this and that, and you don't need to do that. Like this right here, for example. Let me show you this. This stuff is very subtle. Mm-hmm. It's very subtle. So like if you're going from here, like, okay, the calf out to the other side, or the calf, that's the ankle. It kind of comes in like this, just a little bit. It's going to fall down like that. But then you have the top of the foot coming over like that, right? That's the top of the foot. And then what you're seeing, there's probably like the toe over there. There's the one.
Big toe is far.
Right. You can see the big toe there. Okay, so I'll try to put the big toe in. But then what you need to do, you need to get this point here, right? Like, so we're getting this angle. And normally you make this a little bit too thin. Normally that's what you do. This piece right here normally comes up like that, and then it's going to break about here. What's up, baby?
Not much.
All right. It's coming up. And then you have this piece, too. All right, so, okay. So let me show you what I just did. And then from here, like there's a degree, there's this point where you don't draw it with the pencil, you draw it with the eraser. You kind of accent it with the eraser, and then you can touch it up with the point. Mm-hmm. If you always try to draw everything with the pencil, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah. Okay, so you get this, like, so I'm looking at, I need to pay her actually. Give me one second. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like that softens up some. Like, I'm just saying, like, get shadow shapes in with it, right? Anyway, getting back to this piece right here. Normally, like this piece, this is hard. So I'm looking at, for the heel, this 1, 2, and it breaks there 3, but it's very subtle, right? And then you have, this is the tricky part, this part right here, and then where it breaks. Because you have one angle, essentially it's like 1 and then 2. That actually, I like how that looks right there. Like it's, you know, it's coming out more like that, and then it kind of comes like this. And so you kind of got that point, but like in terms of like shaping it up, you know, like once you get it in the ballpark, then you can start shaping it with the pencil. So like the you know, upper part of the foot right here, you see, just even doing a little bit like that really makes a huge difference. Like you can really thicken this out some if I wanted to, but it doesn't really go like that much. If there was a like, you know, normally the toe like kind of it does something like that where it comes up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So then it would be something like this. So you're looking at these points like 1, 2, 3, and then it breaks in there 4. Those are the points you're looking at, and we clean those points up. And it might not have been that way, like this part right here, because I looked at this foot more, but this foot, it looks like what you have more, it's like kind of coming up here, and then it breaks up to the calf a little bit more. So like it might be coming up like that. You might be seeing like part of the ankle on the side or something like that. Mm-hmm. But like that's what you need to look at this distance, because that seems a little bit crunched. Like it doesn't seem correct to me, but this is better than you normally do. Okay, now I was making fun of you with this line because you put this line out, but that line you already had correct. It's just it needed to come up some. So it's like you always make it look a little bit blocky.
All I do was raise it.
You raised it up some, but it like stopped right there and then it shut down. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's looking good. Do you have any more questions? Okay. What do you need a critique over? I can't believe you shot.
I tried drawing these shadows in, and they don't look so bright. What do you think?
You're trying to get me to fight you tonight.
No, maybe I'll just erase them.
1 second. I'm going to bring the cameras over for this.
All
Okay.
right.